Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Alright, I see we have some people starting to join here to the stream. To all of you watching, hello and welcome to round 8 of the VRL F2 Championships. We are here at Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. Super excited to be bringing you this one, providing you with some entertainment on this beautiful weekend. At least in my region of the US, it is a really crisp autumn day. I don't know how it's looking over in Europe, but over here it's quite nice. Monza, one of the fastest tracks on the calendar. Long straights, fast turns, not really any heavy braking zone, so it's a really exciting race, and obviously in real life, producing probably what was my favorite race of the season, and maybe my favorite race of these last couple of years. A penalty to Lewis Hamilton, a really interesting starting grid, or not starting grid, sorry, top 3 podium, a really young podium with obviously Stroll, Sainz, and Pierre Gasly, the French driver in the AlphaTauri, grabbing the victory in that one. But I hope that F1 can kind of see those types of races in the future, because as much as I admire Mercedes, and as much as I understand that they've done an amazing job building that car, it does get a little boring sometimes to see them on the top step of the podium nearly every week. So as you see here, we have 20 drivers, which is fantastic, which is a full grid. Karem is still your championship leader. Has not had the best results as of late, but you know, anything can happen here. And there's going to be some guys looking to recover from unfortunate weekends in Belgium, including Nick in the Red Bull and Anosia in the Haas. Alex Bomberg, Kimi, and Xavi, both of the Williams, had fantastic results out in the forests of Belgium. So they're going to be looking to continue that form, and this is a good track to do it. We're just going to wait for our drivers to ready up, and we're going to get our 18-minute qualifying session started in about 30 seconds time. Again, thank you for tuning in. I hope we have an exciting race coming our way. So we're past the halfway point here. Actually, well past the halfway point of our VRL Formula 2 championship, and it's coming down to the wire. I mean, Karem had a solid lead, but okay results in the last 2 races have led that gap to be closed. Actually, let me pull up the championship standings so we can see just how much is at stake in this race heading in towards the last couple of races in the season. And I believe we only have 4 races left. I believe we only have 11 race weekends. That's a wrong account. Let me go into the Vision Racing League account where all your information is. Alright. That's all drive for the day. Where is it? I believe we do have an updated driver standing somewhere. I will try and find it. I guess we don't have an updated driver standings. I will get that to you as soon as I get it. Let me just get all these settings on. There we go. As you see, Monza just pretty much chock full of straights and high-speed turns, and just keeping that pedal to the ground as long as you possibly can. As you can see here on the left, we have a full grid. I don't know if we've been able to get a full grid yet, so it's really good to see as we look at nearly everyone going out for the first lap. The likes of Inozia, Karam, Virus, no Pepin yet. Alex Bomberg, SLR, James, all in the pit. Uh, PSV Ty, Nick, Leroy, Kimmy, and then Wakanda. These guys will all be trying to set in some fast laps. What I can tell you guys is how many races we have left in this championship, because I believe it is actually we have 6 more races. Next weekend we go to Singapore. The weekend after that we go to Suzuka, and then we have a break. Then we head to Circuit of the Americas in Austin, and then Mexico City a week after that, Interlagos in Brazil a week after that, and then Abu Dhabi will be our final race and our championship decider if it comes to that. I see Hot Lap Mode in the chat. Hello, Hot Lap Mode. Guys, just if you can, just let me know how the volume is. I know last race there was a bit of an issue at the beginning with the volume. I did turn it down, but I don't know if that setting reset itself or the volume is still good. I think it should still be good. It sounds good to me, but just an update on the volume would be very, very helpful. As first across the line is, I believe, going to be the 2 Williams boys. A bit awkward for the Williams, to be fair. I think that Javi might actually get slowed down by Kimmy here as I try to spam all the way down to Kimmy. And it looks like, did Javi pull out of that lap? Oh no, I guess Javi got past. Kimmy sacrificing qualifying time to avoid crashing his teammate out. I mean, with this type of thing, this is where it's helpful to have a team principal in your ear to tell you what to do. But if one was obviously faster than the other, I think this would make sense. But in all honesty, last week it was pretty equal, as we see Javi flying through Ascari, one of my favorite turn combinations. I think Ascari is a real test of your driving ability. If you can keep that pedal to the metal, so to speak, and keep that gas in all the way through Ascari, and then you're going to be pretty well off. And it looks like Javi is going to be our first time setter here as he comes around Parabolica. You kind of want to get as wide as possible coming out that straight, and then coming over to the right down the finish as Virus goes. Oh my goodness, we're going to have all these times coming in here. It's going to be pretty interesting. People trying to get as much slipstream as possible. Kimmy is going to be the slowest of the bunch so far, just because of the nature of him. Uh-oh. Looks like PSV has retired from the session. Unfortunate to see. I don't know whether that was a crash. As wow. Again! Look at this. This is, I mean, as an F1 fan, in a real life race, I'd love to see this, but if we can get it in a virtual race, that's totally fine. Our top 6 separated by less than a second. And our top 2 separated by about 0.05 of a second, or half a tenth, as Nick, oh my goodness, Nick shaking off a albeit shaky weekend at Belgium, and he goes fastest by about half a second. That is great to see him recover there. Looks like Ave, Batboy, Yori, Pepin, Alex, SLR, James, and Leroy have yet to set laps, as we see someone going through the styrofoam bollards behind us in the opening chicane as they come around the Curva Grande. Nick's teammate Leroy just sneaking up the inside there. Is Leroy on an outlap? No, it does look like that Leroy is. Oh, you did crash? Oh, that's unfortunate. Did someone crash you out, or was it unforced error? Because sometimes with these qualifying runs where you guys all get out of the pits at the same time, it gets a little bit crazy. That happened here in I don't know if it was here or yeah, it was here in the F3 and F2 races. Everyone was trying to set. I remember everyone was trying to set qualifying times, but they couldn't. As it looks like Kimmy just did not go for an in lap and just went for another lap because he had to let his teammate by. In all honesty, he's within 3 seconds on, you know, a unconventional second flying lap in a row. And it looks like he is still pushing, although he is not using any ERS. So I figure he's just gonna take it into the pits as a Yoda. Oh my goodness, squeaks in front of Anosia by about 3/100ths of a second. Gets a little racy with Nick entering the pits there, as our racers will go in for a fresh set of most likely soft tires, and then get those fitted, then head back out. And I'm super happy to announce that I will be commentating the F1 race tomorrow. So if you guys are watching that, then I'll be super happy to see you guys there. Obviously, the F1 races have been super duper interesting this year, so I've watched some of them, but I'm excited to come to you from the virtual commentary booth. As it doesn't look like we have much movement, at least at the top of the grid. Um, Looks like everyone's kind of staying put. Anosia is going to look to close that gap or possibly jump Nick, who is the only one in the 118s so far, although both Yoda, Anosia, Leroy, and to be fair, Wakanda and even MK, and heck, Hank are all possibly getting in there, as Hank, this lap for Peter Hank will be invalidated, most likely towards exceeding track limits, but he will be looking to recreate what his real-life AlphaTauri counterpart did here in Monza, as I believe that was MK that left the session there. I don't really know what happened there, but hopefully he'll be able to join us for the race. You know what? Maybe he just decided that his lap was enough, and that was fine. As looks like Nick, our front runners are gonna go out for another lap. Let's ride along with Anosia here as he makes his way through the first chicane. Oh my goodness, a little bit of wow, lots of wheel spin there in 5th and 6th gears as Bad Boy retires for the session. Most likely running a high straight line speed setup as he heads through the second chicane. Oh my goodness, he's gonna end up in the. Oh wow, what a recovery there from Anosia. That was, to be fair, that was quite impressive as he heads towards the first Lesmo. It's just quick. No, never mind. That was the second Lesmo here, leading towards Ascari. Left, then right, then left as he flies down towards the final corner of Parabolica. Runs a little wide there, misses his apex, but he is where you want to be here. You want to kind of ride that green, come all the way to the outside there, and across the line. It will not be an improvement here for Anosia as he sets a 120 flat. As Karem, our championship leader, takes charge, he says, no, 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 this is my race to win, as he overtakes Nick at the top of the leaderboards by about 0.3 of a second. He's got to be thrilled with that lap. Yeah, on this track, only, let's see, we have the Curva Grande, that left-hander leading towards the first and second Lesmos. The Curva de Serralio, which is barely even a turn. It technically counts as a turn coming out of the second Lesmo, down towards Curva de Vialone, headed towards Ascari, and then finally Parabolica. Yeah, it looks like there's only, it's listed as 11 corners. I guess the first chicane technically, the chicanes technically count as 2 corners. And Anosia gets into the 118.5s here. Only about, oh sheesh, 7 thousandths of a second, is that? Yeah, 7 thousandths of a second ahead of Nick. I mean, these F2 races, at least in qualifying, the pace has been super, super close. Even down towards Virus and Wakanda and Peter Hank, who all get into the 118s on their second lap. I wonder if we're going to see a 117 from Karem, maybe. He's only about a quarter of a second off from a absurd 117, as Alex Bomberg and Yori are both yet to get laps in, so it's a little strange, I would say, as I don't know if he is heading into the pits or on an out lap. Yes, it does look like Alex Bomberg will be on an out lap here, as will Yori, as everyone else brings it to the pits. I wonder if they were just kind of waiting for the chaos of the first lap to die down, or I mean, to be honest, I don't really know, as MK rejoins us from his let's say premature exit. Maybe a little frustrated after I don't know if it was a crash, but maybe a little frustrated. No, it wasn't a crash. I mean, it was PSV Ty who disconnected. PSV TY. I don't really know. Not necessarily how to pronounce that, but just how to say that. Yes, that was a super, super solid lap from Karim. It looks like all of our racers will be in the pits until about 3.5 seconds left in the session. As I say that, a McLaren pulls out. Looks like a Ferrari pulls out. I'm not really sure if these guys are going to try to get a lap in before their final lap, or they're just setting their final and hopefully, fingers crossed, fastest lap before that. Karem says P1. Yes, Karem, as of now. Although Alex Bomberg, our provisional podium sitter from last week, I don't know if he got demoted from the podium actually due to some penalties that the stewards had a hard time figuring out during that lap. But yes, Alex is finally on a lap here as he comes through Ascari. Yes, Ascari down towards La Curva Parabolica, as my Italian friends would say. I don't have any Italian. That's actually not true. I have a single Italian friend. He's from Turin. Shout out to Daniele. And Alex just brings it into the pits. Looks like that lap was just not good enough. So he's gonna, I guess he'll just fit a fresh pair and then just head right back out. But that's interesting that he just ducks it right into the pits immediately. Let's ride along with Mr. Hunk. That is, of course, Peter Hank, who slows down to let his Red Bull senior team, not necessarily teammate, but I would say Red Bull A-team driver, because AlphaTauri is, after all, for all intents and purposes, a B-team for Red Bull. Although, Gasly, in real life, has been, at times, outperforming Alex Albon and even Max Verstappen, as we saw here at this very track. The temple of speed, as they call it, and these F2 drivers have certainly been showing a lot of speed and pace, cracking the 118s pretty consistently all the way down to Yoda in P7. Looks like Virus jumped Anosia for that P2 position, that coveted front row of the grid. As of now, he will start in P2 next to Karem, who is on provisional pole. Karem's going to look to get out on a lap and improve his time just to... Yeah, of course, I'll look at my DMs. Oh, alright, yeah. Looks like I just completely missed the F2 standings. I believe these are the standings through Belgium. Yep, this is the current standings. So Karam is in the front, in the lead by a whole, looks like, oh god, I just can't do math right now apparently. 22 points. A 22-point gap from Karam to the Mercedes of Alex Bomberg in second, followed by Wakanda with 57 points, MK with 52, and Monster, who I believe is no longer part of this championship, with 50 points. Then we have TRT Kimmy with 41, TRT James with 35, and then Virus, Nick, and Javi round out our top 10 with 34, 30, and 29 respectively. So Karem does have a solid lead over this championship, but I mean, anything can really happen as we look at our constructor standings. The Red Bulls of Nick and Leroy have done a fantastic job to cement their spot on top of the driver standings. Neither of them having great races last week, but you know, anything can change as MK sets a lap and then promptly runs wide through that chicane. Lots of stuff kicking off here as Nick is going to be able to set a lap. I think Wakanda might be able to. Yeah, I think he can get a lot across the line from the Lesmos in 50 seconds. So it looks like we're going to have all of our final laps here as Karam runs wide. I don't know if this is a flying lap or an out lap from Karam, although it does look like, yeah, it's a flying lap from Karam. Around the second Lesmos and down towards Ascari chicane. Runs wide again, kicks up some dust there, coming down this long straightaway. Yellow flags. Oh no. See, this is exactly what Karam didn't want to happen. These are cars that are lining up for their out lap that Karam is going to have to get around, and it does look like his lap time has been invalidated. That is unfortunate, but he will have to deal with that as Yori retires from the session. I don't know if that was a crash or he was just happy with his lap time, as it looks like Nick goes fastest through Sector 1 and then runs wide coming out of the second chicane. I don't know if that will lead to a not disqualification, but an invalidation of this lap time. It looks like he's alright for now, as we are... I don't really know what happened right there, guys. Oh. Hold on, let me just invite Jamil to the party. Our second commentator seems to have been left behind, and it is completely my fault. There we go. I think we should have that sorted by now. And barring anything ridiculous, which I don't think is mathematically possible, our championship leader Karem is going to be on the front row of your grid today, followed by MK, Virus, and Anosia, rounding out the second grid. From the third grid is going to be Nick and Alex Bomberg. I guess we can have a good look here. So yeah, looks like it'll be Karem and MK on the front grid, front row, sorry, followed by Virus, Anosia, Nick, Alex Bomberg, Wakanda, Yori, Peter, Leroy, Yoda, TRT James, Ave Racing, Nick Pancras, Javi, Kimmy, Pepin, Batboy. Batboy SLR and PSV Ty have not set laps, which is unfortunate for them, but I know I have not seen SLR race, but I know PSVTY and Batboy both have some crazy pace, as we are joined by our second commentator for the first time in what seems like forever, Jamil. How are we doing?
Hello, hello. Sorry for being a little late. I
Nah, it's
was
alright.
had a few things to do before the race, but sadly I missed qualifying, but seems to have been a great lap from Karen. Really looking forward to this race. It's always quite hectic, first lap and the whole race throughout. So really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, of course. Always seeing those lap times being so similar at the front really gets you excited for hopefully a pretty competitive race.
Yeah, the 18.2 from Karen is really quick for multiplayers, and it's a little slower than time trial. And Karen said he did a 17.9 in time trial, I think.
Hmm.
So it's a very good time and very solid. Would put him in a good position for F1 tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah, I mean he'll get a little extra experience on this track. I'm sure all these guys have been consistently putting in laps in that time trial mode. But you're right, it is nice to kind of get some race experience, especially if you've got 2 races on the weekend. Yeah, so it's a
Yep.
pretty short, not short, but it's a quick run down to the first chicane there, and obviously with all those cars, it tends to be a bit of a traffic jam on the opening lap
Yeah,
here at
it's
Monza.
yeah, that's really one of the toughest parts of the race. The track really tightens as you head onto the first corner, so it's very difficult to get through. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some cars go off in the first corner off the line.
Yeah, I certainly would not be either. As just have a quick look, looks like most of our drivers have opted for the fastest red soft compound of tire. We see a few, including Batboy, Avesta, and James, opting for the medium. Obviously, hoping to maybe stay out a little longer and get the overcut on some of these racers. But it seems like the soft tire is the consensus best pick. But yeah, it's a little weird. You've got this other tracks, you've got short runs down to the first corner, and the tight starts are obviously really tough because there's not too much room for more than 2 cars wide through that first chicane. It's very slow, and it's just all these cars doing 180 miles per hour down to 50. It's pretty tough to avoid a crash, someone running into the back of you. I've certainly experienced that, but hopefully they keep it clean. Belgium was pretty crazy. There were, I think, 4 safety cars, which really
Yeah,
kind of slowed the pace of the race down. But we'll see what happens here.
yeah, exactly. As you said, it's very different. You really need to get a good getaway from the line and really find yourself in a good position and safe in turn one, so that you can just just be safe for the start and not get damaged. That's going to be the main thing.
Yeah. Hold on, let me go into the race director here because it says that Nick has been disqualified, although it's not. Uh-oh, that's weird. We just had 3 disqualifications. Um,
Yeah.
what in the?
Lukanik, I saw Lukanik. What happened to him? He basically had a glitch with Alex, as he did in the last race. No, actually not the last race. Actually, in Silverstone, another glitch from Alex on the formation lap. Actually, I'm pretty sure he didn't do it on purpose, but ran into Lukanik. Wonder why Alex was not disqualified as well. So,
Yeah, it
but
looks like.
anyways, here we go
Yeah,
for the lights out.
looks like our last row has been formed up, so we should be good to go here. Man, that's just unfortunate for Nick, and even Batboy and SLR, who are at the back of the grid, were somehow involved in that incident. As we get ready here at Monza. 5 red lights. A big hold here, and away we go. Looks like Karim gets a pretty decent getaway here. They're going to be 3 wide heading towards the first chicane. Looks like Virus gets ahead here on this long first straight as we head into that heavy braking zone. As we talked about, has the potential to be a bit of a car park, but we did not quite get through cleanly. Looks like in the background of that shot there, you could see a few cars off. As MK looks like he had to cut the chicane. Unfortunately, picked up a penalty for that.
Yeah. Oh, and he's in the wall.
Yeah.
He made contact with Kerem going into the first corner. Now he's retired. That could bring out the safety car in lap 1.
Yeah, especially since.
Don't think so. Oh,
Looks
there's
like
another car off. It's Alex.
there's an
One
Alex.
of the
Is
championship
Alex off in
contenders.
the Mercedes? Yeah, it looks like he is off, going through that first chicane. As he comes around the first of the two Lesmos here. Man, Alex really has a tough task ahead of him if he wants to catch back up to this kind of opening pack.
Yep, a lot of drivers having a few incidents. Quite some of them keeping it clean. To be honest, I'm quite surprised.
Yeah, I know. Looks
That,
like,
oh,
well,
there's another car off. It's one of the McLarens. I think it's James.
is it James? Yeah. James
Yes,
has
and
spun. It looks like he is now going again. I wonder if we ride along with him.
that's
Can
very weird. All the drivers from the top of the table on the standings are now dropping back to see. Oh, Kerman P2. He's a championship leader. He's going to be quite glad to see his contenders having those issues.
Yeah,
It's-
I think that's going to be important to Karem to kind of just, he doesn't need to win this race by any means, but he does need to keep out of trouble. So he's got to keep it clean and hopefully score some points, and that'll go a long way to kind of keep him in first place of this championship battle.
Yep, and that's going to be the most important thing. I believe he's going to be really focusing on just keeping it clean, just finishing in a good haul of points and bringing it home for the next race. So, yeah, very tight right there between the top two, and then and Kerem has got a little bit of a breathing space between himself and Ties. To be fair, it's right around a second, and so Menswire is getting really wide there. I wonder if you got a warning for that. And no, he didn't. Quite surprised to see that.
As we have I think that yellow flag might just be a car. Oh no, it looks like a Ferrari is off at Ascari. That is SLR, and he is into the wall here. He's got to get this car turned around.
Kind of a disastrous race for both of the Ferraris, as
Oh my
Leroy's
lord,
also
yeah.
got back all the way into last as well.
Yeah, I wonder what happened.
Matt is already into the pits. Wonder if he has damage or has to fix anything.
Yeah, he must have picked up some wing damage or something like that.
He's running well in E7, I believe. Yeah, he's fixing his front wing.
Yeah.
The first one to come into the pits, hard tires. It's quite a bit of a gamble, but I think they can make it to the end. There's another retirement.
Oh my
actually in
goodness,
pit,
the
so that's not
Ferrari.
gonna bring a safety car.
An absolute disaster for their home race for Ferrari. I'm sure the Tifosi are up in arms right now. That is tough to see for them, especially at your home Grand Prix. You never want something like that to happen. As we have a yellow flag in Sector 3, I believe that is just, I don't know what that is actually. I think that's just the Ferrari kind of parked there. Yeah, but it looks...
I wonder if Energy Ties has done a mistake, because he's dropped 2.6 seconds to Kerem for P2, so could have done a mistake here, because Yuri's really catching him. He's got 2 warnings on this lap.
Yeah.
And Yuri's already got a penalty.
I wonder if...
very interesting to
see. I'm sure Ties was desperate to chase down Karem, probably just pushing a little too hard. Especially at this beginning stage of the race, I feel like you really don't want to push. You got a full tank of fuel, you got a heavy car, and it's pretty easy to spin and run wide and get a ton of understeer. So he's going to have to be cautious here to... I know he wants to get past Karem and get more points, but if you crash into the wall, that doesn't do you any good. So he's got to kind of keep out of trouble, just like Karem does.
I was just checking here, the race directors. Looks like Menswire has already got his first warning of the day early in lap 3, so that could be an implication if that turns into a penalty later in the race. Currently only that warning. Kerem has shown 1 warning, but that is for collision on the beginning of the race, so it doesn't affect penalties. Bad Boy is into the pits as well. Let me check if he had damage and had to fix the damage. Yes, he did. Fix the front wing, putting on the hard tires. He's probably going to make it to the end.
Yeah, I think both Yoda and Batboy are going to try to take this to the end on the hard tire. Probably a pretty good strategy. If you have to pit in the beginning of the race, you might as well take a gamble. I mean, your race is already kind of out your original strategy is out the window at that point, so there's no reason to not kind of take a risk that, if it pays off, I'm sure will pay off pretty nicely for both of them. Especially at Monza, you want to if you get wing damage and that's going to affect your downforce, you want to get that replaced right away, because that can be a real
Yeah,
big problem if your car isn't
as
sticking
well.
the way it
It's
should.
quite a big fight right there for B7. Sorry to cut you off, but I think Hank Peter was just getting past Luke, and then a bit of contact there. I wonder if anyone has got damage. I don't think so. But Hank Peter then making his way up into 7th.
Yeah.
See where Hank Peter started in P9, so already making up 2 places. Nick Pancras started 14th and is already up to 6th. He's already made up 8 places from his starting spot, so very good start by the Alfa Romeo driver. On the soft tires, as are the front runners, so he's in the mix there as well.
Yeah, I'm sure he's thrilled at that start. You know, I think that comes from keeping it clean, not necessarily trying to make an overtake, but you know, at a track like Monza, if you're just a clean racer and you stay out of trouble, I think the positions will kind of come to you naturally. So definitely a good job strategy-wise for Nick off the start here, and he is right on the tail of Wakanda, who's looked really quick through qualifying, but has seemingly fallen back a few places here. I wonder if the race pace just isn't really there for him, but he will have DRS here on the start-finish straight, heading towards his first chicane. He's gaining pretty rapidly, about a tenth of a second back, heading to the first. Oh my goodness, is he gonna hold it around the outside here? Thinks better of it, but the switchback is there for him. Oh my goodness, a little bit of wheel spin here out of the first chicane for Nick Pancras, kind of ruins that run on Wakanda, but yeah, really good pace from the Alfa Romeo driver here.
It's a very difficult exit from that first chicane, second corner. So it's quite difficult when you're on dirty air, especially. So that really made that bit of oversteer right there. That wheel spin from Nick Pancras. He's dropped a little bit back. I believe he's making up the gap lost as well right now, but he's kind of stuck there in the DRS train from tires all the way into him. So I don't think the overtaking spots are really available for him as DR. Oh, is he spun?
Oh, he spun at a Ascari. He's into the wall. He's not lost a tire.
I believe his front wing
like
damage. That's.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously going to be pretty. He went hard into the wall, coming out of a Ascari.
Well, actually, the front wing doesn't seem to be that much damage, but that's a big implication on this race.
Yeah, let's see if he ducks into the pits.
Yeah.
Oh, he's run wide into Parabolica. He must have just. Sometimes
that spin must have really.
Yeah.
That spin must have really got the tires heating up. So.
Oh, he does not go into the pits.
On the track. Quite a surprise.
Right. That's interesting. What I've seen sometimes is that in like spectator mode, you sometimes can't see front wing damage. And it looked like, based on the way he came through Parabolica, running so wide and getting into that gravel trap, it looked like he had damage because he had no downforce at all. But I don't know. It's an interesting decision to stay out, and we see a yellow flag in Sector 1. Is that? I think the incident has cleared.
No, there's McLaren off to the first sector. It's James. He's got more wing damage. He was already.
Yeah, he's already had an off this race. Yeah.
Now he's dropped back even further, as Alex also made his first pit stop, but he's gone onto the medium tires. He's really going to need to nurse these tires all the way home. He's in a battle right there with Bad Boy. I believe he's going to come out in front as he's got a softer tire set and fresher, so yeah, stays out in front. But how long can he go in these medium tires? That's going to be the question right now. As there's Karen for the lead.
Oh yeah, looks like we have a battle. Oh my goodness, side by side in the first chicane.
A little bit of contact.
Yeah, it looks like a little rubbing.
Their head.
But Virus is going to hold station for now. I'm sure Karem is going to be licking his lips here, heading towards the second chicane, which is certainly a bit easier than the first, a little wider, more room for overtaking for sure, much faster as well as they head down towards the Lesmo. So it looks like Virus is going to hold the position here. Karem about half a second back, as Nick and Yori getting into it. Looks like Nick is going to make the move stick heading into the second Lesmos. And well done by Nick there.
It's very rare to see a move there at the Lesmos. That was a very brave move and paid off. So Good move. P5 for him. Couldn't
Yeah.
move further.
Nick, of course, didn't score any. Oh my goodness! And there's an
Oh,
off
into the
there.
wall.
Ties
And Energy
there.
Ties is out. And
Oh my
Kerem also
goodness.
making a move there for the lead of the race.
And we have
But
a
not before
virtual
the safety
safety car
car.
here. Yeah. Oh wow, Virus got lucky there because if Krem got past, Virus wouldn't be able to overtake. But Virus is going to hold first place through the safety car, and they both
Oh, they're
duck in.
both
Oh
coming
my
in.
goodness.
Oh,
Oh, Virus
believe
gets a
Mems.
penalty for speeding. It looks like it was also quite a late exit there. Um, yeah, it looks like he
Yeah,
just couldn't. He couldn't make up
he
his
got in
mind, and
really late right
yeah,
there.
he
That
want.
was really unexpected.
Yeah, he wanted to do whatever Karem did, but unfortunately Karem was behind him, so he had to wait until Karem made the move. And Kimi, who stays out on the soft tires, is going to gratefully take first place. And all of our racers, minus Kimi and Leroy, sorry, not minus Kimi and Leroy, but all of our racers that were on the harder compound, so the medium and hard tires are going to benefit from this, I think. As we see Virus and Karem both going on to mediums now as the VSC is over, so a really quick virtual safety car period here, which is good to see.
Yeah, I was just checking right here, and Mems Arts has got a penalty for multiple warnings. That's his second penalty already, so that makes up 8 seconds. That's going to be counted. That's going to be discounted on his time. So big disadvantage for him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be tough for Virus here. He was, trying to hold on to first place, but probably just overdid it a bit. Some corner cuts here. That speeding in the pit lane penalty is obviously a big one.
Well, I think one of the Alfa Romeos went off at the second left when it looks to be here to speak. Looking at getting past his teammate. Leroy has not stopped yet, so he's going to be stopping shortly, I believe. I don't think these soft tires are going to go any longer.
Yeah. As of a yellow
the
flag
yellow
in Sector 3.
flags. That's for a Vesta.
It looks like it's a Vesta. Yep, he is heading into the pits.
Yeah, he's back to the pits. Just after. Oh, he's
retired.
retired.
He's retired.
I don't know what happened there, but yeah, he was changing his front wing. So yeah, retirement there. Not really good for the Mercedes team. Not a very good race for them, as well as the Ferraris.
Yeah. Well, now the brunt of the Mercedes team is on Alex Bomberg's shoulders, and unfortunately, it does not seem to be going swimmingly. Let's just say he's in P14, 5 seconds back of Yoda and Nick ahead of him in the not Alpha Tauris, Alfa Romeos.
As now Mems Virus has caught into Kimi. Kimi obviously on the older soft tires.
Yeah, Kimi
Mems
has
Virus
yet
got
to
to find a
stop.
way past him.
Yeah, normally you'd favor the driver with the soft tires here, but with old soft tires, I think that Kimi might have a hard time keeping Virus.
Yeah.
I think that Kimi might have been able to duck it into the pits there, just because Virus and Karem are probably going to pass him eventually, so it's probably better to just pit there as Virus, peeking up the inside.
But past him. Kimi's hanging in pretty good there. He's helping Karem.
Yeah, Karem must be thrilled because he'll probably catch up right to the back of Virus, and it's going to be quite the battle when Kimi does eventually pit and releases these two. As Virus is going to get past here, is he? Nope. Kimi holds on. You can see out of that chicane.
Yeah, Kimi's now let them both
Kimi
through.
now lets him pass.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Probably knew he couldn't hold on for long, but he releases those two.
It's really close between Karem and Mems Virus. I don't know.
Karem's going to get DRS here down towards the Ascari chicane, but this isn't the longest run on the racetrack, probably not the best place to get a straight line overtake done. So he will bide his time, and Cat Kit in chat says no Kimi. It's alright, I think that Kimi would have gotten overtaken anyway, so it's probably the best decision to stay out of trouble and let those guys pass, as he lets the Red Bull of Nick Verhar's pass again. So Kimi doing the sportsmanly thing, probably not best for his championship aspirations, but Now he's gonna let
Yeah,
Nick
now he's in the
chase.
pits.
Yeah, nah, he's gonna
So
pit
I don't really
anyway.
know what happened to Wakanda Raring because he was ahead of Lukinik and Yuri.
Yeah, big
He's now
lockup
dropped
from
into
Virus here as
P5.
Karem squeezes Virus onto the grass. Their side. Oh my goodness! Virus runs onto the grass, loses the back end, but he keeps the car in a straight line. That does let Karem pass pretty easily now. So our championship leader in the lead of this race.
And there's Lukinik on the outside trying to take over P2, not really gonna get it right now. And I was just checking right there that why Wakanda Raring was so far back. I've just seen that he had a 4.1 second pit stop. That
Oh
is the
my!
slowest pit stop of the day. So that's why he probably got held on.
I think he got held up. Yeah, probably during the virtual safety car.
Yeah. So and he's on the hard tires. I believe he could have gone onto the mediums from there, but I don't know. That's quite a gamble. These hard tires are going to start to work later on the race, so he's probably not going to keep up the pace with the guys in front. But as the medium tires go degrading, the hard tires will have quite an advantage. As there's Lukinik on the DRS.
Yeah, Nick now in DRS range of Virus, who is not in DRS range of Karem. So we could see Karem just kind of waltz off into the sunset. As it looks like Nick is going to get the move done into the first chicane.
Both
Let's
of them
see.
locking up right there. Oh,
Yeah.
that's really close.
Oh, it looks like they're side by side here, and oh my goodness, Virus just kind of squeezes him out.
What a great exit. What a great exit from Virus keeping ahead. Now what does Lukinik do into the chicane?
Yeah, Nick's
Doesn't
certainly
really
not
go for the
done.
move.
Oh, a
Oh,
little bit.
almost spun
Yeah.
out.
Oh, little generous with the power there. Yeah, I found in this game that the hard tires, you gotta get a lot of laps on them until they get warm and they get some pace into them. As it looks like is that the McLaren of James there? Yep. He's spun at Parabolica. He was in last place anyways. But yeah, once you get some warmth into the hard tires, they really come alive. And to be fair, they're a pretty quick tire when they're in their ideal conditions. So I think that that could bode well for our racers that are currently on that hard compound.
Yeah, exactly. It's Lukinik then again really close to Manzarez. I think he's got the move done right now. Yeah, he's already side by side onto the DRS zone and then sails past him before the corner arrives. Oh, Yoda Speaker's retired
Speaker's
after
out.
Scary.
Big lockup from Virus
I
again.
wonder if there's going to be a safety car for that.
Yeah, it looks like he's on
Doesn't
the.
seem like.
Looks like his car is on the exit of kind of the third section of that triple chicane. As let's ride along with, I believe that is PSV Ty who just went past him. Yeah. I think his car will just be removed and we should be able to keep racing. Now 15 drivers left. We've had 5 DNFs so far.
Yep. Now I wonder what can Yuri do as to Manzarez. I don't think he's closing in to the cars in front of him, so it's going to be a difficult task.
Yeah, I think Yuri he's kind of pulling away from Wakanda Raring, but he's also the Virus is pulling away from him, so he's kind of got this big air pocket to work with. So he's in clean air. He's just going to try to get some solid laps in, I think. I think he'll just kind of bide his time and see if the opportunity presents itself for an overtake. But for now, he's just going to kind of hold where he is, not push too hard, kind of maybe do some tire management, fuel management, just to make sure he has enough in the tank, literally and figuratively, for the last couple of laps. Although, yeah, it looks like he's gained about, not gained, he's pulled away by about 0.2 of a second from Wakanda Raring on that lap.
He's
also,
he's already cleared him from the DRS.
Yeah.
Actually, it's very close.
Oh, Virus runs wide.
Virus.
Oof.
Yep. He's 1.1 behind at the DRS detection, so no
Yes, he
DRS for him at the
will not get
moment.
DRS for this run into Ascari. But the three of them,
Um,
Nick is still keeping it close with Karem. I said before that Karem might waltz off into the sunset, but Nick is doing his best to keep it in there.
oh, means there's yet another penalty. That makes up 14
Oh
seconds
my lord.
worth of penalties for Memes Virus. He would drop back
Quite
behind
far. Let's see. It's about
behind
14
the
seconds.
Williams of.
Yeah, it's about 14 seconds exactly to Peter Henk as we have Bat Boy retiring in the Haas. So no points for the Ferraris and no points for the Haas boys
Another
today.
virtual.
And a virtual safety car. I wonder if that was due to that accident. Most likely was. So unlike your normal safety car, we won't see Karemnik and Virus kind of bunch up together. In theory, they should keep the same time gap to each other, but we do see cars pulling into the pit lane. That is the Williams of Xavi, and looks like a Alfa Romeo of Nick and Pepin in that McLaren. All taking new tires. Looks like they're all. Yep, looks like Xavi, Pepin, and Nick have all gone on to new medium tires, so those will last them the rest of the race. I wonder if our leaders will have to stop again. They have 11 laps to go, or 12 laps to go, so 18 laps on a medium tire, certainly doable, so I think that these guys won't have to stop again, but, you know, if they pick up damage
Never
or...
mind then. Oh no, DNF for
Oh, looks like
James.
James has, I think that's his, that might
Yeah,
be his
he
third spin at Parabolica. He's really
yeah he
struggled with that
oversteered
corner.
after a Scari, and his car's not ghosting. So watch out to.
I
Now
think it
the
has
car's
ghosted
gone.
now.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And Nick
Oh,
is within
Lukenic's already on the
DRS.
DRS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big lockup there. It's a pretty common lockup spot there, because you're going so fast, and you have to. The lockups happen when you're turning and braking at the same time, and the car doesn't really know what to do, and you can. It's a possibility you end up in the grass, but he does a good job to kind of slow the car down there. Still within DRS, so not too big of an effect. But Virus is 2 seconds back. He's 2 seconds back of Nick, let alone he's got 14 seconds of penalties to deal with. So.
So I'm just checking here the penalty situation. Kerem has 0 warnings for exceeding track limits. I'm trying to find it about Lukenik. I believe Lukenik has 2 warnings for exceeding track limits. I'm just going to confirm.
Oh my God, Alex
Yeah,
Baum.
that's
Alex Baumberg's in the points. I didn't even notice, but he's gonna try to get some
Yeah.
points for the Silver Arrows today.
Yeah, so Lukenik has got 2 warnings, Mensvirus has got 14 seconds, Yuri has a penalty, 3 seconds. He got that penalty in the second lap, actually. Wakandarering has got 3 seconds as well. Henk Peter has 3 seconds, 1 penalty. Kimi nothing. Leroy has 3 seconds worth of penalties as well. Alex has got 9 seconds of penalties, and Javi Mateos has got 6 seconds. So Mensvar is the worst in the top 10 as to penalties. He would currently be dropping down to P5, I believe. So that's not really good for the driver who's trying to hold on to first place. Kerem really keeping it clean here. He can take it easy with Lukenik because he has no warnings at all, while Lukenik is very close to get a penalty. So you see right here, he's already in the DRS, already putting on the pressure, so it's quite a long way to go.
Yeah. I don't want to jinx it, but does it look? It looks like there might be some rain. Does it look dark on my screen? It looks like there's some cloud cover. It could just be clouds, but now that would certainly mix things up in this race. But
I believe Kimmy's had a little bit of an off there after Ascari. He just
yeah,
dropped back behind.
three
Oh,
wide there.
going for the
Oh my
dive
lord!
there.
Yeah,
It's
three wide and through Parabolica. That most likely does
really
not
good
end
battle
up
for
well.
A here.
Yeah, a yellow flag at Ascari. That looks like, is it Nick? Yeah, Nick has spun at the exit of Ascari. Same place where he saw his teammate Yoda crash out. He looks to be alright there.
I don't know what happened there to Kimmy because he was in P7 ahead of Leroy, and I believe he had an off at Ascari. I've seen quite a few drivers go off at Ascari, and
As you've
there's
seen,
Pankers retire from the
Nick
race.
retired. I mean, I think he retired from the pits, so I think there
Yeah.
shouldn't be a problem with that. As
Yeah,
Nick,
that's at least safe from a safety car.
yeah, Nick's within DRS range, but I mean, 8/10 of a second. That's not really far enough to mount an overtake. So he'll try
Yeah.
to bide his time and see what happens. But as of now, it doesn't really look like an overtake is in the cards. At least over these next couple of laps. So he'll probably have to get it done in the next 3 or 4 laps of the race.
Yeah. It's got to keep up in a gap like 4 tenths all the way to Kerem until the end of the race. Let me see if he now has a penalty or anything. No. As Kerem's still keeping it clean, 0 warnings for the Turkish. I believe Kerem is going to bring this one home for another win. That's really going to put him a foot to the championship here. He's been doing really well all season. Also in F1, he did some races. Finished P5, I believe, in Silverstone. So it's been very impressive for Kerem. Really good momentum for him. So yeah, right here he has to hold on to those 6 seconds. Can't do a mistake. Neither drivers here can do a mistake. So see how much they have pulled from Menzara. It's already 3.6 seconds. So really dropping back at this stage is the Renault.
Yeah, he looked to be fighting for the top position, but he's really fallen off, hasn't he? I don't know if that's due to just pushing too hard and his tire degradation is worse than others, or maybe just the pace isn't there. That does happen sometimes, where you have the qualifying pace, but in the race you just straight up can't get it done, and it looks like that's what's happening here. As you know, he
Yeah.
has 6 seconds back to Yuri, so I don't think his podium spot is in jeopardy, but I'm sure he'll be disappointed and not be closer, especially with those time penalties. I think he will drop behind Yori and even his teammate Wakanda. And I'll be interested to see if that gap from our leader to Nick will change at all. It looks like it's stayed pretty solid at 8/10, maybe 6/10 through the DRS zones, but Krem just seems to kind of just have more grip, pull away through the exit. It'll be close here through Parabolica, but you know, I just don't see this overtake happening unless Krem makes a mistake. And as you've said, no penalties throughout this entire race, so it seems like Krem does not make many mistakes. About 5.5 tenths back when the DRS opened, so to be fair, he is making up some time. Let's see. As I enter the chicane, it's about 3/10. As Nick does get a 3-second time penalty. I don't know if those.
Yeah, now,
Yeah.
that's now Kerem can really take it easy with him. It's not really going to be too much of a worry. I believe Kerem will be more worried about just keeping it on the track
Yeah, I don't even know
rather
if.
than
Oh, speaking of
rather
keeping on the
than
track, Nick
defending.
gets into the gravel there. I don't even know if Karem needs to fight here. I think that he's got to try to avoid crashing out and avoid
Yeah,
an incident. So I don't even think he needs to engage in this battle. I think he's got to have the mindset where if he gets by, I think that Karem can pretty easily keep it within 3 seconds. So
on the gap then really close between Men's Virus and Wakanda Rari, as the difference in penalties between them is 11 seconds. And currently on track, they are split by 10.6. So really difficult for Wakanda Rari, because Men's Virus is really pulling away at this point. Lukanic's really close right now. Could go for the move.
Yep, DRS is open. No overtake mode for him, but it looks like he'll just slide to the inside and... Oh my god, they're side by side here. Wow, that's a great move from Karem there. Had the inside line into the... had the outside line into the first turn of the chicane, sorry, which turned into the inside.
What happened to Jerry? Yuri's now dropped into P5. He did a mistake, I believe.
He must have, because it was a
pretty... from Men's Virus.
It was a sizable gap, wasn't it? He must have spun.
Chance is gone. I believe he went off at Parabolica.
He must have. Yeah, that's been pretty common today, because obviously it's a tricky corner. But I mean, I'm surprised to see so many incidents there. I think we saw James spin about 3 times there until he retired. But yeah, it seems that drivers have kind of struggled with that turn today. Oh no, Virus is off. Virus is off at Ascari.
I believe he used the reset to track record. That's gonna be a penalty.
Yeah, I got it on my feed as well, so we can go back and look at that. But yes, I do believe he reset to track there. Yeah.
But the podium is now all falling into the hands of Wakanda.
Wakanda, yeah. Even Yuri, because Virus already has time penalties for corner cutting and stuff like that, but that's going to be a penalty that can't be assessed within the race. But I think the stewards will assess a certain penalty for that. So I think that.
Oh, Yuri's got another penalty. He's got 6 seconds now.
Oh yeah, we got to factor in Yuri's penalties too. Yeah.
The gap now between them has to be 8 seconds if we don't count the reset to track penalty. So. Jerry might finish behind on the final results from the game, but I believe Men's Virus is going to get a penalty for resetting to track, so yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know off the top of my head what that penalty is. I don't know if there's like a set time, like if you reset to track you get 5 seconds, or if it depends on the situations, but he pretty clearly gained an advantage by resetting the track. I think that Wakanda would have passed him fairly easily if he didn't use that reset to track feature there.
Yeah.
And Nick looks like he will get close again here to make a move. Let's ride along with him. He's right on his tail. Tries the same move, moving to the inside. Karem's going to try to hold it around the outside. Nick runs wide and kind of taps Karem, but Karem makes it through with what looks to be no damage. So good news for the racing driver.
Neither of the drivers having a lot of energy to spare record to use overtake. So not gonna happen right now for Lukanik.
And then
I don't think Lukanik's gonna get past him, but he really doesn't need to, as the penalty situation's gonna put him back behind Kerem, even if he gets past. So.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if Kerem knows that. He must, because you know he hasn't really been fighting with him too much. But yeah, like you said, the ERS at this track, once you use it, it's really hard to get it back because ERS is replenished through braking, and you don't brake all that much in this circuit. So once you use that energy,
not many corners. Yeah, I mean you have a few, not many braking, the heavy braking spots. You only have, I believe, turn 1 is the only heavy braking zone.
Yeah, that's the only one where you're gonna regenerate a lot of energy. And ERS is, I believe, you can only use 50% per lap.
Here he goes.
Oh yeah, it looks like this lap he will finally get by cleanly.
Yeah, he did.
Yep. Nice move there, but he's gonna have to try to establish a 3-second gap back to Kerem, which will be pretty difficult,
especially to do that.
Yeah, especially
quite unlikely that he'll pull that gap off.
Yeah, especially if
Go on,
Karim
go on.
stays within the overtake, not overtake, DRS rather. Uh, he can just kind of stick to the back of him. But I'm sure Nick is going to be happy with P2. It'll help their advantage in the constructors standings. Sorry.
Yeah, now that gap's still in 4 tenths. I don't think Karim will try to get past him, but still think he's gonna get the victory right here.
Yeah.
Karim has now 1 warning, and well, actually, Lukanik is not showing any penalties for him at the moment.
Huh. Maybe it's different on
Yeah,
my
I don't know
screen.
what's happening. It's only showing invalidated lap time. That could be a warning which gives him a penalty, so I don't really know. I'm gonna check right here. Last lap of the race.
Yeah, here we go. White flags have flown. I know we were in the mindset that Karem could just let Nick pie, but that overtake could be a monumental one if that penalty doesn't go through. Yeah.
Now, actually, I've just seen right here, Lukanik does have a 3 second time penalty,
Okay.
so
And Karem, honestly, he's only
Karim would
about,
be safe
yeah, he's
to
about
the end of the race.
he was a tenth back up until that second chicane, so he, in theory, could have gotten a move done on track, but I think he'll be happy to just kind of stand back.
What a really good job from Alex as well, bringing those tires 20 laps old all the way to the finish.
Oh, it looks like as we say that, Xavi looks to have gotten past, into that the first chicane.
It's not going to happen there for Lukanik, only 5 tenths onto the last corner.
Alex somehow has more traction than Xavi, who's got 10 laps fresher tires. Around the outside through the second chicane, Xavi's going to get a better exit, and I think Alex is... Oh my goodness, and did...
And confirmation of the victory for Karim. 2.5 seconds the gap at the end with the penalties.
As the Renaults of Virus...
Yeah,
he spun.
13 seconds. Oh, they're both out after the race.
Yeah, imagine that was before the line. That would be crazy. But
Jerry has not got Men's Virus. He's also crashed into it.
Oh my lord.
Hank Peters now moved into 4th.
Wow, great result from.
I didn't see the penalty situation for Hank Peter. So wow, really shocked to see him up there.
And Pepin.
Everyone is crashing.
Oh my lord, it's a party. Kimi has slowed down to a stop. And Alex Bomberg is going to come across the line P11. How'd that happen? Oh my goodness. I thought he was... Oh, look at that. That is quite the scene as TRT Kimi wins the games driver of the day. My personal driver of the day was Karem. I thought he had a great race. As we see our podium here, and we confirm that Karem is victorious here at Monza. Takes a quick selfie and grabs a trophy, with Nick in second place, and I believe that is Wakanda in third.
Yeah, very good race, start to finish really, and yeah, Karim now is gonna bring even further. Now he's gonna bring the championship lead even further, as Alex did not score points. Neither did MK17, neither did TRT James. So it's a wonderful race right there for Karim. I believe the gap's going to be over 2 races. So I'll just invite the podium finishers for the podium interview.
Yep. I can do that now. I'll just go in and do that real quick. Hold on. What's their what's Karem's PSN? I don't think I have him added as a friend. So was Karem, Nick, and Wakanda, or was it Virus? Yeah.
Before the interview. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks Ethan for the commentary. For qualifying as I was a little bit late and
Yeah, of course. Thanks so much. It's tough to remember all these PSN names. If you see a black screen now, it's just because I'm inviting our podium finishers to the party, so we can just get some quick thoughts from them, and then I will just send us all on our way. Alright, there we go. They're all invited, so we'll just wait for them. I'm going to try something a little new. If any viewers have any questions for our podium sitters, feel free to leave them in the chat below.
Hello.
As Wakanda has joined, hello, we're just going to wait on Karem and Nick just to get
Yeah.
some quick thoughts from them, and then we'll wrap up here.
Okay.
We'll just wait for them.
That was insane.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Both the Renaults finishing up pretty
Hello.
well. Hello there, Nick.
Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, for you, I suppose it's what, 7 o'clock?
Yeah, it's 10 past 8
Oh,
in the
10 past
Netherlands.
8 for you. Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
it's 2 in the afternoon for me, so yeah. Nah, it's great. I think it's awesome that there's so many people from so many different places involved.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see. I'm not sure if Karem will be joining us. I have invited him, but we'll give it a minute or two, and then if he doesn't join, then we'll just ask some quick questions and then let you guys enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll just I'll shoot him one more invite, and then if he doesn't join, we'll just get on with it. Alright, we'll just get on with it, and then if he joins, we can just, ask him some questions. Uh, Alright, I guess I have to add Karem as a friend, or else, I don't know, it's a little confusing. Oh, he just sent me a request, so yeah, I think we'll be able to do it now. Alright, he left the lobby, so I don't know if he'll be joining. But first of all,
He,
congrats to you
he's
guys.
He,
he's asking to get invited.
Oh, do
he-
yeah, I invited him. Oh, there he is. Perfect. Hello, Karim. Alright, glad
Hello.
we have all of you guys here. Congrats to all of you, podium finishes. I hope you guys are happy with it. From my perspective, that was a pretty exciting race. Let me just get yours. Krem, how do you feel about your performance today?
Yeah, I practiced today, only today, and I saw that I had very good pace. But then I had a bad start. News virus caught me, but then I was able to overtake him again, and he made some mistakes, so he went out of the DRS. But then Luke, he was very quick, so he came to me and overtook me. But I'm lucky that he had a 3 second time penalty, and I didn't have any penalties, so
Yeah.
P1, happy with
Huh.
it.
Gotta be happy with that. Yeah. I was impressed that you were able to not have any penalties. Normally, we see everyone get at least a corner cutting penalty or something along those lines, especially at a track like Monza where it's pretty easy to make a mistake. And Nick, P2, pretty good result. You got P1 on track, but with penalties and the likes of that, you were demoted to P2. Are you happy with that result, or were you kind of wishing that you didn't have those penalties?
yeah, after my start, I'm happy with P2, but unfortunately, I had a 3 second penalty that dropped me to P2. But overall, I'm happy with P2.
Hmm. And then Wakanda, just some thoughts for you. You were able to kind of keep out of trouble, avoid getting major penalties, and then you inherited third place because your teammate Virus ended up having quite a few penalties. What was your kind of general strategy throughout the race? Because it seemed like you were just kind of racing clean and just staying out of trouble.
Yeah, I try to take less penalties. Um, I had a bad qualifying, but I have also a good start. I try to take less penalties, um, to be more polite on the track,
Hmm.
and I'm happy with this podium.
Yeah. All right. It was certainly a
Oh,
super.
My for my teammate, he got a P5, so that's a lot of points for the Renault.
Yeah, certainly. It'll help your constructors championship standings. That's all I have. Again, congrats on a really exciting race and a pretty clean race. I hope you guys enjoy your night and the rest of your weekend. And I will see you for I believe Suzuka is our next race in 2 weekends time. Thank you all so much. Bye.
Bye.
And from me and all of our partners and members of VRL, I want to thank you guys all so much for tagging along with us. Super fun race for me. I hope it was fun for the rest of you all. And good night, good afternoon, good morning, whatever it is for you. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much.